You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Hey, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk live on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you and glad that you're here with us as we get all of our technology up and running here and try to get everything going. We had a little bit of an issue this morning with our technology. So I had a computer this morning saying, hey, just want to update, Windows has to update. Why not? Okay, let's do this. I got an hour before the show goes on, so why don't I just update the computer? That's a logical enough thing. And once the computer get out of the shower, come out, it says, oh, it's 100% done. Just cleaning a few things up. Please wait. Don't restart your computer. Don't shut it off. I'm like, okay, no problem. 10 minutes, 20 minutes goes by. Okay, I'm restarting the computer because this doesn't look like it's going to end. And then it just is like watching molasses for all the programs to load and you name it. Circles of death all over the place. And we have a special guest who's joining us, who's waiting to come on. And it's even more frustrating because we want to get to that as well. Zach Ireland will be joining us momentarily to discuss the news. We're live on CKLU 96.7 FM. We're also streaming live at cklu.ca. Just click on the Radio Player Canada app. You can stream us or you can download the app and take us with you and listen to us anywhere, anytime on your favorite device. While you're there, purchase some merch and help the station keep the lights on, the radio, the waves open, the mic on, so that way, we have a community radio station. CKLU has been around since 1984. We want to keep it going. So it's only because of people like yourself that has made that possible. So I'd like to thank everyone for their patience waiting for us to come on. I really appreciate you. You know how we roll here. We're trying to get on as much as we can, as on time as we can each and every day, but just technology is our enemy sometimes. But we're also streaming live at facebook.com/Sudbury News, youtube.com/Sudbury News. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Mainly comment. We'll do our best to get your comments read and up on the screen for those watching. Now we're also on demand at those two platforms and twitter.com/Sudbury News and Sudbury.news, our local news aggregator, our website, where now that the government has made a policy so that way we can't share news. News agencies can't even have a Facebook page anymore due to this government policy. And so we've made this we made this website so that way we can get all of our local news in one convenient location. And with that, we want to welcome Zach onto the show with us today. Haven't had Zach on for a while. He's been with us since our inception of Sudbury News Talk, and before that, Sudbury Sports Talk. So how you doing this morning, Zach?
Good, yeah. It's great to be on remotely, but we do what we can,
Yeah, because, you wanted to come in the studio this morning, but I said I'm not going to be there because I'm in my remote studio, and so you're in your old office. And I'm far away, an hour's drive away, but with the miracle of technology, we're able to get together here. So we have quite a few people joining us. Just want to give a quick shout out to Nana. Good morning to you on YouTube, because we haven't been on YouTube for about a week because we've been had a strike against us because we shared some medical information from authoritative doctors apparently, and YouTube didn't like that. I don't know why. Monique, good morning, Sudbury, with a smiley emoji. And Denise, blessings everyone. Vin, good morning to you. I clicked on you, but it didn't come up for some reason. And Mikey, good morning. Good sir. Good morning, everyone. Yes, same to you, Mikey. And Brian, good morning, Sudbury Patriots. Marianne, good morning, everyone. From Frosty Berry, liked and shared as usual. And Belinda, we'll just get her positive statement here. The more you value yourself, the less you chase people who don't. Surround yourself with people who heal you just by their presence. Heart emoji. What do you think about that one, Zach?
That's good. Yeah, always look forward to the Belinda quotes. It's you know what? Don't take this the wrong way, but sometimes I look more forward to you trying to decipher what the quote says than the quote itself. I get
Yeah.
I get a lot of satisfaction out of those.
Yeah. Trying to read it with my old
Yeah,
eyes.
trying to read it.
Yes,
Yeah, and sometimes
exactly.
it's like there's a typo or it just totally throws you, and you just are like, well, I don't
Yeah.
really know what that's saying, but
Exactly.
yeah.
Or I go on some rant and then I try to get to the comments and I've said 17 different things and then people are
Sure.
commenting on other things I've said and it's
Right.
I don't know
Right.
which thing it's being I don't know which what someone's reacting to, which thing I said. So that gets me in hot water sometimes too. So Windows updates take longer than they claim. It's a classic trap to get you to update. That's
Yeah,
Brian.
absolutely.
He's a computer guy, so he would know these things. And Liette in
Absolutely.
Collingwood. Good morning, everyone from Frosty, Collingwood. Peace to you as well, Liette. Thanks for joining us today. Denise met with Michael Mantha. He's totally programmed. Do you know Michael Mantha? He's the MPP for this area, North Shore.
Oh, that's right, for Nickel Belt. Yeah.
So he was NDP and then something happened and then he's independent now. But apparently
Okay.
he's independent and programmed, according to Denise. So we'll have to.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Exactly. Welcome back, Zach, on the
Yeah.
attack.
We have some OGs listeners because someone said earlier the Gentle Giant, and that's man, that's probably a 7-year-old comment. So that's good.
Yeah. Andrew's with
Yeah, a
us
lot's
this morning.
changed.
Lots,
A lot
yes.
changed.
In what way?
Yeah. Since we started Sudbury Sports Talk, we like it was mostly it was you at the beginning. Well, it's 100% you at the beginning, and then it was you and I, and then it was you, I, and Gene,
Yes.
and then it was you and I again,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a hiatus during
Yes.
the pandemic.
We had a big shutdown everywhere in the world, pretty much.
Right, which I had gotten married before the hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after the pandemic, you resurrected the show as Sudbury News.
Correct.
Sudbury News Talk. So that was awesome. You moved, so we no longer would do the show downtown when it was resurrected, and that's when there was, I think it was like almost 6 months. Do you think maybe it was longer? We did the show at your studio. So, and then things changed again, and the show went remote again. Like you've been keeping it alive. I'm like, since then, like I've had a lot of life events happen. That was in 22, right?
Yeah, you were married during Sudbury Sports Talk. You had your first child. You're expecting 2 more very shortly.
That's right.
Your life has changed. You started a business. You're very busy purchasing properties, selling properties, real estate, all kinds of stuff you're involved in. If anyone has
life change. This stuff that like helps you remember like in your life what happened when. A lot of that stuff happened to me within 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of change, a lot of life.
Yeah, it's the way you want life to be. Lots of events. It's also I can't remember which book this was in, but it's pretty logical, makes a lot of sense. And that is when you're young, time seems to go by very slowly. And then as you get older, time seems to accelerate, seems to go faster. Yeah. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. But one of the reasons is important events when you're young, like important milestones are further apart. And like the fastest you can possibly move through life is like through grades in school, and they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
So like until you go to like middle school, you don't really sense much of a change. And if you have middle school, and then once you move to high school, that seems like another change. But these are like several years apart. When you become an adult, these milestones just come at you very, very quickly. So it seems like time goes by a lot faster.
Yeah, when you're young, every milestone it takes a year. Whether it's your age, I'm 3. Oh, and I'm 4. I'm 5. That's or grades. I'm in
Right.
grade 1. I'm in grade 2. Christmas once a year.
Yeah.
Birthday once a year. It seems to be everything is a long wait for something. It's
When you're
a
a kid, yeah.
milestone when
Yeah.
you're a kid. Yeah. And good morning to Nancy joining us here. Just want to give a shout out. And Shirley from Capriol has joined us, and everyone's saying good morning to you, Zach. So just so you know, I'm just getting him up on the screen here.
I appreciate it.
The love for Zach is very plentiful here.
We had some
Yeah.
good time.
So you just want to go through a little bit of weather because we didn't cover it yet, and just let everyone know, just because we usually do, it's it's getting a little colder these days. So it's -5, but it feels like -11. Today it's going to be a mix of sun and cloud. Wind chill will be -10 this morning, and we might get around +4 today. Tonight partly cloudy, wind chill -5 overnight, and then Thursday, mix of sun and cloud with a high of 5. Look at this, Friday and Saturday, 4 degrees, 6 degrees, and absolutely sunny. So we love this stuff. And then Sunday and Monday, 40% chance of showers, high of 6 for both of those days, Sunday, Monday, high of 5 and cloudy on Tuesday. So anyways, just wanted to go through a little bit of the weather there. And Mike Perrant is on. So good morning, Mike. Thanks for joining us. We are going to be speaking pretty much about the meeting last night. Pretty interesting stuff going on in the city. You're keeping, there's no dull moments for people, that's for sure these days. So thank you so much for that. And with that, this was interesting because last night I wanted to find out, because I didn't watch the entire, city council meeting because interesting things have been going on lately. We fired the CAO, the chief administrating officer of the city. And no reason was given for that we know of. And he was also let go from the city of Barrie a few years prior with no reason given for that as well, which I've wondered about. Why don't we know? Like, why, as taxpayers that we pay, do you know how much the CAO makes a year, Zach?
It's got to be more than 200.
It is. You're right.
Yeah.
Do you know how much more than 200?
No, I don't know.
It's over $300,000 a year.
300,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's a pretty,
No, it's if you thought of the city as like a corporation, that'd be pretty low pay. Considering like the financials of the city, but it's public service, so pay is a lot different than the private sector. Like, I don't think MPs don't make that much. MPs make 50% less than that.
They just barely clear 2.
Yeah, and like most MPs will either need to rent or own like 2 homes.
Yeah.
So it's no, it's definitely not comparable. But you also think this is true in the private sector as well. You have to attract talent, and that was in the article that the CAO, like, they're going to begin the search in-house, but you can almost guarantee they're not going to find someone that's satisfactory in-house for a job like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to take like a energy analyst making $60,000 a year and make him the CAO. There probably are people that are capable, but that's not how jobs like that work. You need to kind of take someone who's already capable. It's like anything. If you're the CEO of a hospital, the guy who's entering data could probably do the job, but that's not how it works. It's unfortunately, it's probably going to be a recruitment thing. It's going to take a few months.
However, I have to applaud the idea that they're at least going through to process the motions.
Exactly.
Like you have to at least look internally first because you just never know. And it would save
Sure.
$75,000 is what they're predicting the cost of a recruitment agency would cost to get a new CAO is an extra 75
Sure.
grand, which is what
Sure.
more than what most people make. It's about the median of average yearly income
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
Canadian, right? So,
Right.
so yeah, that's the story coming from Sudbury.com today, that their search for the new boss will begin in-house and only proceed with an external recruitment firm if the locally driven effort proves unsuccessful. And again, I
Yeah,
have
and
to
like
applaud
internal
that.
recruitment's cheaper, but again, like you're never going to have as many qualified people inside your organization as there will be outside of it.
No.
It's just not possible. So we'll see how it goes.
And it's interesting, I've always thought, why, yeah. It's just like if you're looking for a mortgage for your home, why don't we have a website or whatever where you put up the fact that you're looking for a mortgage for your home, and then mortgage
Mhm.
brokers consistently go on this website to look for people who are looking for mortgages, and then they contact them and say, hey, I can get a mortgage for you, or I can do this.
Right.
Similar, like I just thought, I guess there's a need for targeted headhunting in this day and age for people to go out, because I don't know.
think I don't know, but I did work for one recruiter in their home, so we talked a few times. But other than that, my knowledge is pretty limited on recruitment. But in my estimation, just my general understanding of the world and the internet, recruiting is basically just skimming LinkedIn for people with similar titles, like job titles, and then like propositioning them through LinkedIn to come work for you. And that's basically what it is.
That's
like,
what that's what it's boiled down to these days. Is
it's
just
not like
everything's over
phone book,
LinkedIn.
you
No,
know. It's all LinkedIn,
and they
it's
have
not through
algorithms.
Facebook,
Yeah, you
know what I
pay
mean?
you pay LinkedIn to find these jobs for you, and then they have algorithms. You say, okay, I want to look for someone who has A, B, C, D in
Exactly.
their profile, and then I'm gonna automatically send them a message that's already pre-done.
Exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
so and so, I'm from such and such. I'd like to set up a time. I have an opportunity you might be interested in. So
Exactly.
it's
And
automated
you get
these
the
days.
I don't know how recruitment works, but like in my estimation, the way other businesses work is the recruitment office would get yeah, it's true. Dominion of Canada is a corporation. The recruitment would have like a tenure agreement that they say, like, if we can find someone that's qualified before this day, then you have to pay us. Because it can't be like a free ball and like, anybody can apply, anybody can do that. No recruitment, like, no recruitment company would take on that contract.
Yeah.
It's too risky.
So interesting
My-
last night with the the council meeting. I actually wanted to see it, but I'm going to sit there for like 2-3 hours watching it. So I'll get the Cole's Notes version. That ages me when I say that. Anyways, Cliff's Notes, whatever the notes, the brief of the meeting. And I know the city does a good job right after their council meetings. They post, what happened in the meeting. I just want to give a shout out to Miles, who just joined us, along with Claire. So good morning to the two of you. Thank you very much. I'm getting everyone's comments up on the screen just because of time restraints, because my computer issues loading up this morning. So it's interesting, I went on Facebook and I found, the city council meeting wrap up, they call it. And I went through it and I'm like, okay, I want to see what happened with this, because the integrity commissioner had a couple reports that were going to be read, and they were going to discuss whether his recommendations in the report should go. Like Natalie Labby is going to be suspended without pay. Mike Perrant is going to whatever. He put up a post due to the the $5 increase for the garbage, the landfills, and he said that staff just slipped it in on page whatever.
Yeah,
633 out of 670. And then Natalie Labby says, yeah, the staff, that's what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, the integrity commissioner came down harder on Natalie Labby than Mike Perrant, saying she, she was more guilty than he was of going against their code of conduct. So council
Gotcha.
receives reports from city's integrity commissioner, David Bogosian. This is coming from their wrap up regarding complaints he received alleging breaches of the code of conduct by 3 councillors. He continued that 2 of the 3 councillors in question violated the code of conduct. Because Councillor Leduc, he violated their social media conduct code because he posted a meme saying, you know, back in the day he had Wonder Woman and now you're all trying to figure out what is a woman. That's what he posted.
Yeah.
And he said,
okay, so that goes against it.
yeah, so he said someone hacked into his account and put
I see.
that post up. So anyway, so I guess he wasn't all that, whatever. He wasn't going to be held accountable for that.
Hey, you know what? That excuse in grade 7, that excuse worked pretty well.
Yeah. I don't know. I have my own thoughts on that. Like, I don't particularly think that he was hacked. I think he put that up, but that's just my own opinion. So
that's
fine.
Like when a girl texts you in grade 7, it says, "I like you." It's the excuse is always, well, that wasn't me. I got hacked.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's something.
It reminds me of that.
My generation never had to deal with because we didn't have cell phones.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I could see that happening for sure. You wouldn't be able to send a note to someone back in my day and say, "Oh, I didn't write that. So and so wrote that." But I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So then,
yeah,
the integrity commissioner recommended a 5-day suspension of remuneration for Councillor Labby. They defeated that resolution. However, the integrity commission recommended no penalty for Councillor Parent and included that he did not have jurisdiction to investigate the complaints about Councillor Leduc, the one about the social media
the
post.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, they have the reports there. You can read them. So then they had a couple other things they went through, and then they came up to a member's motion to post integrity commissioner's cost. So they looked at the integrity commissioner's recommendations to slap Mike Parent on the hand, to suspend Natalie Labby's pay for a few days. And everyone said no. I think it was 10-2 or something like that. They voted no, we're not going to do that. Natalie Labby couldn't vote on that because, it's a conflict of interest.
Excluded.
Yeah. So her fellow counselors said, no, we're not going to do that, the majority of them. So then someone has a motion to post the integrity commissioner's costs as an ongoing thing, like the cost of his investigation, showing that, wow, this is costing taxpayers a lot of money for him to be investigating these things and whatever. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. They want to break it down into 4 things: the complaint, investigation and reporting, how much it costs for him to give advice to council, the education and training that's involved, and the general information to the public. Like, so they want that to go forward. And I'm like, oh, wow, they're holding him accountable now. And then I go to the bottom of the meeting and it says members motion to terminate the integrity commissioner's services. I'm like, whoa, now they're going to fire him.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, this is interesting. Council passed motion directing the city clerk to provide the integrity commissioner, David Bogosian, with 180 days written notice of termination of his services. So I was like, wow, this meeting, definitely escalated to the point of, now he's gone.
Right.
Which makes
I don't know much. I don't even know much about what an integrity commissioner would do.
He's there to keep people accountable.
To what though?
For adhering to the policies and things that they're supposed to abide by.
Okay. So adherence to policy, but they still vote. As a council, they would still vote. Yeah, they voted it down. Like he said, look, I think you need to be held accountable. And they all said no. Sounds like a hall monitor. He doesn't have any real power, but
kind of thing, right? But costs a lot. He's a lawyer from Toronto, apparently.
Well, so obviously you'd be a lawyer, yeah.
So obviously the major news outlets here in Sudbury covered this story. So CBC, the move came shortly after 3 code of conduct complaint reports were presented to council. These reports have been a distraction for council and to the public, said Councillor Bill Leduc, who presented the motion to fire him. So it was Bill Leduc who presented the motion. He goes on to say, I'm hoping by moving on from Mr. Boghossian this evening that we can finally concentrate on the major issues for our city.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Would he be like a fact checker in some ways?
Fact checker? Well, again, fact checkers don't have any power, so maybe that is a good comparison.
Well, they kind of do on social media.
I would say if the integrity commissioner is doing their job, his or her job, it would be, like you said, from what you explained to me, it would be adherence to the existing rules, like adherence to the existing code of conduct, as they called it. So if he's doing that, then it sounds like he's doing his job. It sounds like you don't have a problem with him. Sounds like you have a problem with like the code of conduct.
Possibly. So, yeah, and I remember talking about this code of conduct at the end of before the elections. Council seemed to want to be just very fervent on getting these social media policies voted on before they were voted out. And I was like, what's the rush with these social media policies? And because they basically say they can't really say much on social media. I'm like,
they're
that
limited.
Defeats the purpose of social media in the first place. And you're right. I think the code of conduct needs to be looked at again. And we need to at least, look at how we can be. I know I've read that Councillor Labby has said, she feels she's more accountable to her constituents if she can engage them on social media and improve the trust level with people and their elected officials, right? Because people are losing trust in them. And that's one way they can build the trust back. And she also went on to say, Labby dismissed his findings, saying Boghossian inserted too much of his personal opinions in his report instead of focusing on facts.
Yeah, that might be true.
And this is what the media picks up on, and it causes considerable reputational damage, she says.
To her.
To her. Yeah, and she does feel, and I've seen it. I've seen actually Sudbury.com go particularly head-to-head with her, and their editorial division have opinions about her. Like, it was the official editorial people from Sudbury.com coming out and accusing her, and it was like a fight like in the media. But they have more to say because people, she can only speak through the media. So she can only speak through them.
That's the only way she can, get her message out.
Other than her own social media, right? So that's why I think it's so important to her to be able to. And Mike says, conduct of conduct is being reviewed at the request of council. Conduct of conduct.
Code of conduct. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so they're reviewing the actual code. See, that's what I'm saying. I think you might have a problem with the code itself. And that's
excellent.
He's this David Boghossian's doing his job 100% accurately. And if he's doing his job well and they still dismissed him, maybe he was, like he was saying, maybe he was inserting his own opinions. He wasn't necessarily enforcing the code. I think this is partially a semantic issue. I've noticed this a lot with government. His salary is a good reason to say, I've noticed this a lot with government, that they give really obscure titles to people that don't really explain well what they do.
That was one of the problems with Laurentian University. They found after they,
sure,
they went bankrupt. It was like there was a bunch of people with these jobs that they weren't even defined what they were doing. But you're saying government
or there's
is
some
guilty of that
title that's supposed to mislead you as to what it is.
Oh, I see.
So like integrity commissioner, that's why I was joking with you even before we got on air, was like, does he commission integrity? Like a better title might be something like enforcement officer of the code of conduct of city council,
Yes.
because that's really what he's doing. So I guess you can make the argument that he's the commissioner of integrity to the code of conduct for city council.
Exactly.
But integrity is a really semantically loaded word. So
sure.
it inherently makes him sound like he's like an arbiter of justice.
He's the purveyor of all
purveyor
things
of integrity. But if you're a lawyer, I don't know. Integrity is not the way most people understand what integrity is. A lawyer does not have. So that's why I think enforcement officer might be better, because like we don't call police officers,
commissioners.
Well, yeah, like we call them like law enforcement, or you know what I mean. We don't call them commissioners of justice.
Yeah, or commissioners of the law. Mm-hmm.
Because usually people don't like police, so you want to give them a mean title, or like a peace enactor is you could change the title and you'll change people's perception of it.
That's true.
Like
you're
you
right.
say, if you get pulled over with the flashing lights next time, you say, "Oh man, I don't like police," or I don't like, use whatever word you want. And he comes up and he says, "Oh, actually, I'm just a safety regulation officer," or like it's different. It's different than being policed or being, So I think there's something there. Maybe when they review the code of conduct, they can make a change.
But it looks like most of the people here on the show are in favor of it. I know Greg, and good morning to you. And there's Sandy also who made a comment that it costs too much. Good morning to you as well. And if I missed anybody, just giving a morning shout out, I apologize. But Greg, he's saying that city councilors, they're the ones that are there to hold everyone accountable. Fire the commissioner. It's a waste of money.
Yeah, I would agree. Just on a surface level, I would agree. Like the city, I hate to break this to many people. Sudbury is not the only city in the entire world.
Really?
Like there are many cities that operate, and if something's not working in our city, it's not that it's impossible to do. It's that we're not doing it, or the person that's commissioned with doing it is not doing it very well. So there's this attitude of like, it's a loaded word again, but there's this victim attitude sometimes of like everything happens to me and I can't make any difference. But that's not true. Like as a city, that's not true. You're like, oh, well, this is just the way things are. And like, look at people like, I don't know, people have mixed opinions about him, but look at someone like Elon Musk. I think he looks at the world. The reason he is who he is he looks at the world and he says, that's possible. I can do that.
Yeah.
So when we look at something like as simple as we don't like the way that our city is operated, that's possible to fix that, to change that.
Correct.
Like it's physical reality that we live in. It's not like as opposed to a lot of people, even Elon Musk, like it's not some kind of simulation that will always just move forward the way that it is. I think, we don't live in a computer or the Matrix. It's reality. We can change reality. Like
Mike actually went right into my mind and knew what question I was going to ask.
Right.
And just put it out there. I said, is it mandatory? We need an integrity commissioner in the first place.
Exactly.
And he said it is. It is mandatory. Bill 68 makes it mandatory for municipalities to appoint an integrity commissioner. So I guess we're on the lookout for a new integrity commissioner along with a new CAO. Maybe they can do the same job. Maybe we can save some money there, right? The CAO can be the integrity commissioner too. That's a joke. That's sarcasm. I know it's probably not. It's not a thing.
Yeah. A lawyer, commissioner of integrity. I think it's, I don't know, there's something to look at there.
And do they have to be a lawyer? Could they be a clergy?
Well, again, the way that these jobs are kind of recruited, the way that they're done is it's not like you're not looking for a person. You're looking for a title, like an empty suit.
Hey,
is what you're looking for.
What if we came up with AI commissioners? We had a program. It was just AI commissioner, and it was like 1/3 the cost, and it was all all the public information that a counselor had online and juxtapose it to the all the policies, and then just spit out recommendations, and save a lot of money to all the municipalities.
At risk of offending people listening to the show, I don't think I will, but there's a recent story, not too recent now, but there's a story of Amazon. Did you hear about this Amazon physical location project that they had going?
I might have.
Had supposedly they had AI stores that you would go in, pick the items that you want, put them in your cart, and buy like cameras and tracking. The AI supposedly was like marking up your total. And then with your credit card on file, you could just walk out of the store and it would charge you the correct amount. And recently it came out that it was AI. It was indeed AI, but the initialism was not, did not stand for artificial intelligence. It stood for an Indian, because it was like a giant call center in India that would just watch you and then just mark the items that you were taking.
Oh, okay.
So I have a feeling that a lot of AI is like that. Not like some conspiracy. I think some of it does function, like the large language models.
Mm-hmm.
They actually do function. We don't know why and how they function the way they do, but they do work. They're basically giant neural networks of information.
Yeah.
But something like an integrity commissioner.
But does he have to be a lawyer? Is the reason he's a lawyer because he's used to this type of legal things, and it has this legalities involved with all this. And good morning, Louise. Thanks for being on. So we're just wrapping up now.
Good question. It's good. It's a good question.
Yeah, we have 1 minute. So that's the last.
City council is I think representative democracy is great. So something like city council is democratic, and the rules that operate it are not. So that's again something we could change. Wouldn't be easy to change. But like I see Mike Perron posting comments on this. Like he's obviously a lot closer to it. So be interested to have an extended conversation with him. But just like anything, it's possible. It's possible to change it. And there's sometimes when the laws are unjust, it's the right thing to do to disobey them too. So I think this, Councillor Labby and Mike Perron, maybe they're that's why I said they might be right. They might be right. Mm-hmm. If you're doing the right thing, if you're telling the truth, you should focus on doing that rather than obeying all the little rules. That's one of the reasons I don't like a lot of things like AI, because it doesn't seem like they're after the truth. It seems like they're after
compliance to something.
Compliance to the the model.
Now,
that
I like what you said. It might not be the integrity commissioner. It might be the code of conduct that's the issue. It sounds like he was doing his job, and
exactly.
But it's the code of conduct that's wrong to begin with, and that's why they're looking at it. So we'll see how things unfold in city council now with their review of the code of conduct. And I think they should really lax up the social media stuff, because people really do appreciate their counselors being human and being able to engage them, and they do have more trust with them as they're able to utilize this tool. That's why it's there, I think. And what a great tool. They can go directly to their constituents and speak directly to them. They don't have to go through the media, which we've seen now can be very biased. If someone doesn't like one of the counselors, they're going to spin it a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. And good morning, Courtney. Thanks for being on. So thanks everyone for listening and watching. Sorry we got off to such a late start, and sorry to you, Zach, because it kind of takes out some of the time that we have for discussion on the show. But I want you back as often as you want to be, because you're welcome here anytime, as you know. And
sure.
And we're in the studio on Thursdays, so sometimes Billy's able to be there, sometimes he's not. So that could be maybe a day to shoot for in the future if you wanted to join us live.
We'll plan on a Thursday in the near future. Like, as you said, I have 2 kids on the way, so we'll see. That's going to interrupt quite a few of my schedules.
I think it is. For sure. I got you. Okay, well, thanks, Zach, for being with us today. Appreciate it, man. Always love you. Have a good one. And we'll see you next time you're able to be on. And I know everybody else appreciates you being on the show as well. one of the founders
Absolutely.
of Sudbury News Talk, gave me a kick in the pants to get the thing going. So that's much appreciated as well. And
Sounds good. Thanks for everyone that commented. That was great.
yeah, for sure. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU. Everyone have a wonderful day. Ciao.